today on Personal Injury Court.
I don't usually get cases involving exploding turkey. Let's watch it here.
I told her to put a can on the turkey. Of course it had to be an empty can.
Isn't that common sense?
I spent weeks in the burn unit at the hospital.
This court has consulted a renowned plastic surgeon.
Ms. Ford suffered deep partial thickness or second-degree burns.
My heart breaks hearing this story, but it's not our fault.
You are suing for $650,000.
Don't have anything to look forward to.
Judge Gino Brogdon spent 10 years on the bench ruling on cases worth billions of dollars. Now he presides over some of the largest claims in TV history. This is Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Ford versus Robinson. Ms. Ford, it's my understanding from the documents that you filed with this court that you are suing your neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, for severe injuries you sustained when a turkey exploded while you were at their house. You're asking this court to award you $150,000 in medical expenses, $500,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $650,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you believe this is not your fault because if Miss Ford had followed explicit directions, she never would have been hurt. True?
That's true, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's get into the legal sauce. Now, these folks are your neighbors. How would you get hurt with an exploding turkey?
Your Honor, I've been neighbors with Bob and Bonnie for over 15 years. We're friends. We were friends. We would get together during the warm summer months and have cookouts, barbecues, potlucks. And I'd never had fried turkey. I wanted to try it because everybody was talking about how great it was, and so I wanted to try it. And I bought the turkey, and I bought all the ingredients and everything, and it was Bob's job to handle the frying part.
Okay.
Not mine.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you all were inviting people to your house.
Oh, yes.
This was going to be one of your potlucks.
Yes, sure.
Is this something you all did periodically?
We did it quite often, yes, Your Honor.
Anything like this ever happened before?
It's never
Never.
happened before.
Never.
So what happened, Miss Ford?
Your Honor, Bob had the turkey ready to go, and the oil was hot. It was piping hot. And he got a phone call, and he had his oven mitts on and everything, and he took off one of his oven mitts and he gave it to me, and he said, put the turkey in the oil. I said, okay, sure. So he walked away. I put the turkey in the oil, but the oil didn't cover the turkey all the way. And I hollered out, hey, I need more oil. And he hollers back at me, put a can on top. I had my apron on, and I had a can of beer in my pocket because I was getting ready to drink it, and I put the can on top of the turkey.
Like you were told.
Like he told me to do, Your Honor. And I put the lid on top, and next thing I knew, the thing exploded in my face, and they got burns all over my body.
Yes, ma'am.
I spent weeks in the burn unit at the hospital.
Just breathe. It's going to be okay. Just breathe. Now, you said that I want to know how this happened from your perspective. Now, you submitted an exhibit to this court. I want you to cross over to the plasma screen and take me through this. This is how you fry a turkey, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Show me what we're doing.
Okay. In my first graphic, this is what I assume she was talking about. Here's a turkey that's not submerged. I told her to put a can on the turkey. Of course it had to be an empty can. And I feel bad for everything she went through, but it's her fault, Your Honor. Can I demonstrate?
Yes, sir, you may.
An empty can on the turkey. You place the lid on the can and you press it down until the turkey is submerged. That's all she had to do. But instead, she used a full can, and of course it exploded.
Now, I don't usually get cases involving exploding turkeys. So I did a little research and came up with a video that shows me how dangerous this can be. Let's watch it here. So obviously we're not flipping hot dogs in the same kind of way. Frying a turkey can be very dangerous, right?
Your Honor, this was her idea to fry the turkey.
She wanted the fried turkey.
She wanted the fried turkey. We agreed to host the party at our house and
Yes,
to
ma'am.
provide the fryer. That was it. She even sent us an online instructions on how to fry a turkey.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
How to fry a turkey. Number 1, thaw and dry the turkey. Number 2, do not stuff. Number 3, set fryer in a safe spot. Number 4, never fry inside. All this sounds like common sense stuff. Number 5, use the right type and amount of oil. Number 6, submerge bird in oil. Number 7, don't leave fryer unattended. Number 8, cook turkey 3 to 5 minutes per pound, and then you got a nice turkey, right?
Sir, Your Honor, it doesn't say anything about the can.
Now, did you tell Miss Ford, put an empty can on top of the turkey?
Your Honor, I assumed she would know to put an empty can on the turkey.
Isn't that common sense?
Your Honor, with all due respect to my good friend, he didn't say put an empty can. He said put a can on top. I'm not a cook. I don't have a background in cooking. That's not what I do. I followed his instructions. I did what he told me to do. I did what he told me to do.
Coming up,
We need fresh, healthy tissue to receive the graft. We choose a donor site, take our skin, place it into the wound bed that's been prepared.
My whole life has changed.
Couldn't you have said to her, make sure the can is empty?
We thought she could fry a turkey without blowing it up.
This court has consulted Food Network personality and celebrity chef Sergey Fraser.
I put the turkey in the oil, I put the lid on top, and next thing I knew, the thing exploded in my face.
Miss Ford, tell me about your injuries. I can see that your face has been burned
Yes.
and that your arm has been burned.
Yes.
Let me know the complete list of your injuries.
I got second-degree burns all over my body. 22% of my body is burned. All I can do is go back and forth to the hospital and have skin grafts, and I don't know how long that's gonna take. The skin grafts, I'm not looking forward to. My whole life has changed.
Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you see, this is a tragic result to your next door neighbor.
Your Honor, I have every bit of sympathy for what Miss Ford went through. And my heart breaks hearing this story, but it's not our fault, Your Honor.
Couldn't you have said to her, make sure the can is empty?
In retrospect, yes, Your Honor. But I thought,
We thought that she
she's a
knew.
teacher. She teaches at a college.
This is common sense to y'all.
It's common
me,
sense,
that's
and
exactly
and
what
she
it
did the
is.
research. She said she knew how to do it.
We thought she could fry a turkey without blowing it up.
You're asking this court for $150,000 for medical expenses.
sir.
These are very severe injuries.
Yes.
And to further understand these injuries, this court has consulted a renowned plastic surgeon, Dr. Carmen Cavalli. Sheriff Matt, will you get Dr. Cavalli and bring her in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good day, Dr. Cavalli.
Good day.
Can you explain the plaintiff's injuries?
Ms. Ford suffered deep partial thickness or second-degree burns over nearly 1/5 of her total body surface area. This is a very serious injury. It involves the superficial layer of the skin and part of the deep layer of the skin.
Dr. Cavalli, what's the difference between a first-degree burn and a second-degree burn?
A first-degree burn is basically a sunburn. It's red skin that does not blister and heals typically within 24 hours, while a second-degree burn is a deeper but still partial thickness burn. It involves the visible layer of the skin and part of the dermis, which is the deeper layer of the skin.
next.
What's the biggest mistake that people make?
Water and oil do not mix. It's gonna set your house on fire.
You still say this is not your fault?
She's the one that really wanted a fried turkey.
Had he not gotten a call, he would have been the man.
And you used an empty can, y'all would have just had fried turkey. Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear and I'm ready to render my decision.
an empty can on the turkey. You place the lid on the can and you press it down until the turkey is submerged.
He didn't say put an empty can.
This is a very serious injury.
How do you repair a second-degree burn?
Some parts of the second-degree burn might heal on their own with good wound care. Others might require skin grafting.
And what's the process of a skin graft?
I brought a video to help with that if you'd like.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a burn wound bed. It looks a little old and dirty, so we're going to clean it up first with irrigation and debridement because we need fresh, healthy tissue to receive the graft. We choose a donor site, in this case the thigh, take our skin, place it into the wound bed that's been prepared, apply sutures to hold it in place, and then a nice occlusive dressing to keep a moist barrier while the healing occurs.
Once that heals, does it ever look normal?
In the case of Mrs. Ford, who has 22% partial thickness burns, she will most likely need split thickness skin grafts, which can heal with a cobblestone appearance.
Doctor, thank you so much. You are released. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Ford, I can see that Dr. Cavalli's testimony has made you very emotional. That's not lost on this court. What's going through your mind right now?
Just the idea of having to live like this is not. I don't have anything to look forward to. It's just.
Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you can see from the testimony of Dr. Cavalli, these are very, very serious and permanent injuries. This is bad. But you still say this is not your fault?
Well, Your Honor, she was the one that had this idea.
And she did the research. This is on her. She did the research.
Ms. Ford, did you send them this recipe?
I sent them the recipe, but I didn't read the recipe because I knew I wasn't going to be the one frying the turkey.
Folks, to further understand the proper way to fry a turkey, this court has consulted Food Network personality and celebrity chef Tregay Fraser. Sheriff Matt, will you get Chef Fraser in? Okay.
Hello.
Chef, what's the biggest mistake that people make when they're trying to fry a turkey?
Your Honor, you need to make sure that the turkey is 100% thawed out, like through and through. And actually, I have a video to show you guys what happens when you put a frozen turkey into the turkey fryer.
Let's take a look at it.
Look. Explosion. Explosion. It's gonna set your house on fire.
That's from a frozen turkey and grease?
Yes, water and oil do not mix. They do not mix. Like, that's the worst ever. Like, you don't wanna have water, any ice in your turkey.
What's the craze about fried turkey?
Oh my God, first of all, fried turkey is amazing. It's the juiciest turkey you'll ever wanna have.
Thank you, Chef. We appreciate you. You're released.
All right, thank you.
Did y'all know that she had never fried a turkey before?
I was unaware of it, but I assumed that she wanted to
That she had
learn
just because
from me. I mean, she knew.
She did it.
She knew I did it many times before.
And Your Honor, if I may, it doesn't say anything about a can on that recipe. It doesn't say to put a can on top to push it down in the oil. There's nothing like that on that recipe that I sent.
Mr. Robinson, are you a cook? I mean, wouldn't you know about this?
I would know about it, Your Honor. And my assumption was that she wanted to be part of the frying experience. She's the one, like we said, she's the one that really wanted a fried turkey for this event.
If Bob had not gotten that phone call, he would have been the one to immerse that turkey in that oil, and I would still have been standing there. He got called away to take a phone call, and that's why I, by default, was the one who put the turkey in the fryer. Had he not gotten a call, he would have been the man. Would that be accurate?
But had you used an empty can, y'all would have just had fried turkey. Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear, and I'm ready to render my decision.
The verdict is in.
He says, put a can on the turkey, you put the lid down, this thing explodes. You believe it is common sense for anybody to know that you don't put a liquid-filled can in hot grease. The law requires me to base my decision on the evidence.
He didn't say put an empty can.
We thought she could fry a turkey without blowing it up.
I did what he told me to do.
Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear, and I'm ready to render my decision. The plaintiff has the burden in every personal injury case to prove three things. Ms. Ford, you've got to prove that the Robinsons were wrong. That's the first thing. The second thing you have to prove is that their wrong caused the third thing, your injuries. Here you've put up this evidence that you got the turkey, you got the instructions, you expected that Mr. Robinson was going to show you how to do this. You go there to watch him fry the turkey. When he steps away to attend to a call, he says, put a can on the turkey, and you put a can on the turkey because you got a can of beer in your pocket. You put the lid down, this thing explodes and changes your appearance and how you feel about yourself, how you feel and your whole life forever. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, I have heard you in this trial. You believe it is common sense for anybody to know that you don't put a liquid-filled can in hot grease. Well, the evidence makes this case kind of a traditional landowner liability, premises liability case. What the law says is that you all, as the landowners, the homeowners, you have a responsibility to take reasonable measures to keep your guests safe. Now, part of those reasonable measures are when you have a cookout, if you have something that's going to be as dangerous as cooking a turkey or hot grease, you give instruction if someone else is going to do it. When you said put a can on it to a novice turkey fryer, you must say put an empty can because it will explode. Ms. Ford, I find that you have proven that the Robinsons are wrong.
Thank you.
Y'all are good people, but the law requires me to base my decision on the evidence. Ms. Ford has proven that your wrong, failure to instruct her, caused her injuries. I must find in your favor, and I'm going to award you $150,000 for your medical expenses and $500,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $650,000 in the plaintiff's favor and against the defendants. That is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned.